I got this. Hello and welcome to the Modcast. I'm here with Jex.
Yo!
And I'm here with Common. Common, come on. Say something. There's only two people. How the fuck do you not hear me say Common when there's only two people?
Because you did introduce me. I just heard nothing after
No,
JS.
he did.
I did.
Yeah. And common, and then silence.
It's 100% on you. Whatever, it's fine. I'm not doing that again because we need to get started.
All right.
This is our crew for today. It's all fine. We took a week break because I was dying from work, but also there was nothing happening in Dokkan, so it was fine.
So nothing's really happening.
And also still nothing's happening. But let's start with Global, as we always do. They finally showed off Perfect Cell. He's completely
and
unchanged.
Nobody cares.
Well, I don't know, man. That buff he got? Oh, it was pretty top D. Oh wait, that didn't happen.
No, I believe the buff they did to his banner was include Super Saiyan 2 STR Trunks? Man, I'm fucking Gohan. Is it weird? Yeah.
No, dude, it's kind of fucked when, like, the banner itself, like, you're more excited for Gohan than Cell himself.
Yeah. Like, the only thing I've heard about, and again, these are all rumors I've heard about the banner, are people going like, oh no, they're gonna add Broly. And it's like, that's the only way you get people to pull on Cell, is that if there's other units.
That would be satiating. That's the type of thing that would make me want to pull.
That's true. If they hit him in the banner, sort of like, the hidden rates, that could work.
I mean, I'm surprised that his banner doesn't come out and say, like, hey, by the way, you get an Elder Kai. Like, that's maybe the only thing that will get people to pull on Perfect Cell. Because they can at least go, like, well, I'm getting, like, 2 Elder Kais.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's coming. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, yeah, he's coming. But go ahead.
I was just saying, they're banking on people, just the people who aren't informed. They're just hoping people pull on him and don't realize, he's been outclassed in every way by a card that came out like a month ago.
Yeah.
Now, if you do want to pull on the banner and like by coincidence get him, you don't hunt for him, but if you get him, he's not a bad unit.
No,
he's decent. He's decent, but the thing is, the banner itself, it's not worth for you to throw all of your anniversary stones or whatever into it, hunting for him. He's not worth it. But if you get him on the off chance by coincidence that you're trying to pull for Gohan or something, then yeah, he's good. But that's it.
Yeah, just don't go hard because literally the Super Saiyan 4s are right around the corner. Like in a way that is literally unavoidable.
There's literally nothing left in Global that's not come out yet that wouldn't be, what was it, like the Heroes event? That's the only banner that's not come to Global yet. So yeah, the only thing coming is Super Saiyan 4s at this point.
And I think they finally have to get around to releasing them because now one of the Heroes units in there fucking Dokkan's with the new event in JP, but we'll get there when we get there. For right now,
that's true.
Speaking of STR units that released way later than anyone expected, LR Frieza's coming. You finally got it out.
I'm gonna be really disappointed if they don't release the 4th stage along with them for LR Goku and LR Frieza, because that's the only way I'm gonna touch that event.
I mean, yes. Like, now that the 4 stages exist, there's kind of no reason to do either their grinds, really, unless you somehow just have a perfect grind set up for both Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza. Because that 4th stage is just so much better.
It truly is, because not only does it offer you a chance at medals, but also offers you a chance at getting, reasonable drop rates. I ran the 1st stage once with, like, a simulator of a type, and it was 1 in every 50 runs I got a drop. So the current, drop rate they have set up is pretty abysmal.
Yeah, and then... Go ahead, Common.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very abysmal, but it's not only that. One of the key units that you want to put on your AGL team to fight LR Frieza is TUR Baby, and they haven't returned GT event for his Dokkan yet until Super Saiyan 4, right?
It takes at least Super Saiyan 4 before they start releasing those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do wish that they kind of, for LR, just get rid of the Stage 4, because there's literally no reason to release that Stage 4 later. Because in Japan, it felt like that Stage 4 was a response of, like, okay, we've heard complaints, and here's us fixing those complaints. And in Global, there's absolutely no reason to hold, because you already know these complaints. Just fucking release all Stage 4s. All good. Especially when LR
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I had a screenshot of somebody getting 4 drops of Frieza once off the new
Oh
stage
yeah,
4.
that's right. I remember that.
So yeah, it's kind of like a slap in the face just to release it to the current stage 3.
Exactly. And especially when like LR Frieza exists in like the dick shadow of Broly. Like he doesn't even encompass the entire shadow. Just kind of a part
I
of it.
think he's even actually still fighting for a spot on Extreme STR and JP right now.
LR Frieza. I mean, if it depends on if you don't have LR Broly, because I don't have LR Broly.
Yeah.
LR Frieza is a pretty good like substitute for, especially because he links pretty well in there thanks to Fear and Faith. Not Fear and Faith, Fear and Despair. I'm sorry, I play JP. I don't play Global, so I don't call it that. But yeah, LR Frieza. I like LR Frieza honestly. Like out of all the freer LRs, not counting the Ginyu Force, I like LR Frieza a lot.
Yeah. They gave him a lot of links. They tried to make him good when he was released. It's just, ever since they introduced LR Broly, he just overshadowed every unit in Global coming. That has to do with strength, so they just keep releasing all these strength units now that just don't do anything in the shadow of him.
No, like, here's the sadder part, is that when they release Janemba, it's going to be the same thing. Like, Janemba is nowhere near as good as Broly. That's just the state of things. Just because the game is so focused on power. Go ahead, comment.
It's gonna be like the scariest thing when by the time Global gets Janemba, JP gets like LRs that surpass Broly and Gohan, and that's just scary to think about.
It is.
But they could do that.
I mean, literally, that's the way that this game currently is going, is that any day now, something will just show up and fucking destroy everything.
Yeah, nothing's safe anymore. Like, Gogeta, Janemba, gotenks now, it's just like, everyone's getting replaced with a better version of themselves, so yeah, it's pretty scary to think about.
It is.
STR Super Vegito. STR Super Vegito with 6 additional attacks and just counter supers and normal attacks.
We're going into some Japan stuff, so we'll just go straight into it. That's really all that I'm aware of. There's a celebration going on, so now you can get turtle medals and Hercule statues, as Common told me, but other than that, like, celebrations are no longer a thing to kind of care about because they happen every time one ends. So really, what are we celebrating?
Yeah, exactly. And they're also, as far as I'm aware, there's still no 3X in Japan, so you still can't get additional experience to run, get your rank up or anything like that.
It's crazy. Let's see. In Japan, let's touch on this real quick because this happened while we were not here. The World Tournament happened. And let's say some stuff happened. And now there's less people playing Japan.
Let's just say Bandai lives up to the first syllable of their name.
Yeah, just I still think that Japan is eventually turning into Player Unknown Battleground. That by the end of it, there will be one Japanese player not banned, and they will get the chicken dinner, and they will win. Yeah. Oh shit! Am I disconnecting? So let's start by saying I'm back, and Jax, I believe you have something to say about the World Tournament.
So where I guess I left off when you dropped off, I was just mentioning the players to be careful right now because JP just released a message yesterday, basically saying they're going to try and start banning people who are using any illegitimate ways to play the game, which include emulators, mods, and etc. Like the duping problem, that's been over for a while now. But the bigger problem now is they're legitimately going for any other like alternate means of playing the game. So I guess a lot of the versions, if you're not playing the game in your phone, they're essentially trying to target you. And it's a little weird to me they're doing that because it seems to be JP needs a lot more positive PR than negative at the moment. But I guess if that's the way they're going to run it, then that's the way they're going to run it.
Well, here's the other weird thing that as people who play JP is that there's no way for us to talk to them because none of us speak Japanese and they don't care about us because we're not supposed to be playing their game. So as long as their Japanese player base is happy, they're happy. But it's weird.
Pretty much.
It's real weird. I'm basically all hands on deck for JP. I'm basically ride or die, and the second that I get banned from JP, which could happen for any reason, even though I've never duped. I've used obviously mods to play fucking the that bullshit mode that I forget the name of. Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Battlefield. When I'm playing Battlefield on there, I bought it like crazy because fuck that. So,
dude, Wookie, I'm sure you and 90% of the player base modded Battlefield, so you're not alone in that.
So at this
I'd say even 99%.
At this point, I'm 2 fingers up going, come at me anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime I could get out of here, it's fine. I understand that at this point I'm a wanted man and they will eventually kill me. But it will be fine until then.
Weird, I guess, parallel to this, kind of going back to Global, is Global has actually done nothing so far to ban anyone in terms of duping or anything like this, but JP is the one kind of cracking down, so it could come to Global at some point, but as of so far, Global's just been, they don't really seem to give a fuck.
I kind of wonder if Laughing Man did the same thing he did for the Global World Tournament, if the same thing would happen. Because he hasn't, as far as I know, he's mainly just been doing the Japan World Tournament, right?
He's only doing the Japan World Tournament so far, but then again, we haven't had a World Tournament since the first time he's done it, I don't think.
Oh yeah, people, something funky's going on in Global with the World Tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, their World Tournament is, like, so fucked up that they haven't even, it looks like they're never gonna release that Trunks. Like,
they're really delayed with those tournaments. It's like 2 months instead of a month for tournament for Global, so it happens so rarely. It's just kind of bizarre.
And it's like a week long too. I think I finally figured out why Japan's are only 2 day long. And
What's that?
It is the dumbest, most bullshit reason, but it's because on Monday, that's when you start using your stamina for stuff that only shows up on Monday. So, in their mind, why would you want to be doing the World Tournament when you have stuff to use your stamina on that is only showing up on Mondays?
Oh my god.
So, that's the reason why. So, for all those people who are like, I need my Super Strikes on my Mondays and I need my orbs, I can't possibly do the World Tournament, make it 2 days, that's the reason why. I finally fucking found the logic, and it is the most saddest bullshit reason for someone who no longer does any of those things.
I was just under the assumption, like, it's probably more what you're aiming at, but it just seems to be JP keeps finding reasons to give you less and less stones, and it's also in the tournament. They wanted to give you less stones. So if you have less time to do the World Tournament, you get less stones overall, because you get a lot of free stuff by doing it.
You do.
And JP seems to be following this example that they don't like giving you free stuff anymore, so they're trying to, like, put a full halt on all that.
The purse strings have been cut, and it's no longer for that. But yeah, that was the Japan World Tournament. Does anyone else have anything? We could talk about that fucking boo, but who cares?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the boo, to be honest. Like,
yeah, we forgot in the midst of, like, let's burn the Laughing Man at the fucking release. We should burn that fucking tech boo that they released.
Do you want to know how bad it was with the tech boo? So when they announced all the cards that came out for the World Tournament, it wasn't until 2 days later, I think it was Alex the Gaming Claw on Twitter, he posted boo, and his video said something like, oh, is the World Tournament worth rolling for? And that was the first time I realized that boo was the reward. I had no idea up to that point. That's how useless that card seemed to me. It just went over my radar completely.
And it seemed like they wanted it to be useful. Like, it has an ability where in tech it changes, I think, whatever were orbs to rainbow orbs. But, like,
I'm trying to look them up right now.
For the first time, they don't release a Super Saiyan, and when Tech is an only Super Saiyan-based team, what are you doing?
Yeah, this World Tournament rewards are always so iffy. Like the last one, like the Vegeta one, the one that got everyone banned to begin with. It wasn't even worth running for to begin with. And the following one's a Tech Fat Boo. It's like, what in the world would you even do these tournaments for?
And this is also coming off of, like...
I guess to get the medals to Dokkan, your rebirths.
Oh, and you can get some, what do you call it, those, the orbs that you use in the dupe system, you can get in the tournament, so that's kind of the reason to get for them.
Yeah, that's another one, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in the World Tournament. It's just a shame that the World Tournament has become, like, ever since they got rid of the fucking, the reset glitch, like, you basically play on pins and needles. Because at any time you could be randomly supered. And you can't use the fucking scouter because it's useless as shit.
And nobody in the audience better say, oh, you can just use a scouter. No, you can't just use a scouter. It doesn't scan for the turn that you use it on. It does the next 2 turns. That's what the most BS thing about it is.
I think they need to add the option of, like, I want to see it. I actually have never checked, but I would like it so for Sensu Beans you can use it while on the map. And if they let you use the scouter on the map so that when you fought the guy it actually activated, I think that would be better.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Like before the battle, use this guy. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Then it would actually be useful. But for right now, it's just like a fucking wet noodle that just slaps.
Yeah, I still, when I did the tournament most recently, I always run Baba, because Baba will at least ensure I don't get ulted and they'll just do singular attacks on me. That's the really only way to be sure it won't happen.
JX actually got a full blunt of what happens when you can't do app reset in the World Tournament anymore. On stream, too.
I got what now?
You got the full blunt of what it feels like to not be able to app reset after being supered in the World Tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Valley got hit by it, too. Like, I think he got super twice. No, he got super by fucking Broly. Like the worst.
Wait, Wokey, didn't you get hit too?
No. What happened to me was that I overestimated how much my units could block, and then I got fucking dealt more than. I got my entire life bar dealt down in 2 punches.
Oh, dude. Story of my life at that. So I had 100,000 life. I'm like, okay, Majin Vegeta's gonna hit me, and I'm like, he won't super. So he punches me for 99,000 damage. I had 100. I lived with 500 health. I'm like, oh my god. I'm sitting there like breathing heavy. Like, what in the world? These units cannot hit like this.
The worst thing was that in my mind I was like, okay, so they're gonna hit this LR Broly, but his defense should be fine enough, and then I died. But here's the sad thing: you want to know who the unit right next to LR Broly that I decided not to block with was?
Who's that?
Super Vegito. So I just felt like the biggest, like, you know, the Looney Tunes cartoons where you just like look to the side and then like a giant sucker appears on their face. That was me when I lost my fucking like rank. I couldn't even be angry because I was a fucking idiot. I was like, but I've become so complacent with the World Tournament being able to just like app glitch that it's hard for me to just not be on that level anymore. But,
it wasn't so much the app glitch. I actually never really used that before, but just the World Tournament in general, just I've become complacent because I've done it so much now. I just don't care about it. I'm just like doing it. Like, I have 2 days to rush and do this, and it went in my head. I'm like, I don't want to waste 2 days of my life to get fat boost. So I just kind of called it quits like after day 1.
I do like that. Another thing that I've noticed in this World Tournament, that the World Tournament has turned back to the old days of the World Tournament, where it was just STR Broly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's so funny because everyone was like, oh, my God, that's all you ever do with this is you see LR Broly's everywhere. And I tell them, like, okay, guys, go back in time. Go look at, like, the first 4 World Tournaments. Look at every top 20 unit. It's just strength TUR Broly across the board. It's just LR Broly now. It's no different.
I believe the way it went, as far as I'm aware, it was the World Tournament used Broly, then it became use Majin Vegeta, then it became use any nuker available because they released a bunch of them, and then it became like use a nuker because that's the only way to go, and then LR Majin Vegeta came out and that was like, if you got him, use him, and now it's back to Broly. We've done a full like reverse regression.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the LR Majin Vegeta doesn't even work that well in the tournament because you need to have 18 key to use his AoE one.
Yeah,
but then Broly's like, yeah, by the way, not only will you AoE once, you'll AoE twice. So if anybody lives, you make sure they die.
Yeah, like literally nothing stops you at times 20. Like when I put on a fucking Mass Saiyan lead and nothing was able to withstand Broly's blast.
I was streaming it and I did it purposely. I went from ×1 all the way to ×20. There was one example of a team surviving. It was on ×20, the very last team, and it was LR Majin Vegeta. He was the only one who lived. Yeah. And then Broly's like, oh, time for my second ult, and then killed him. So I was like, you have nothing to worry about.
He's such a... oh, God. LR Broly is such a fucking busted unit in so many different ways.
It's so
and the thing is, Broly's featured. The thing is, Broly is featured, whereas Vegeta's not. And I think that's the funniest thing.
It is. Man, the LRs in Japan are just a weird beasts, but I think that's it for the World Tournament, because now we can move on to an actual Dokkan that came out in Japan. It was Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Yep. They released the physical.
I'm going to do this for Zihal.
Yeah.
Your day reminder that AGL Super Saiyan Gotenks sucks.
Does. His art's pretty good, though.
Yes, thank you. That was some of the top tierest art I have seen for a card to date. I was like, congrats, Bandai, you did one thing right.
I mean, STR has... Arguably, they gave STR base form Gotenks some interesting stuff to play with, but none of that matters because that art for the agility one is real good. And also, it killed the dab, which I think is the best thing that has ever happened.
Dab tank dead.
Yes, please, kill it. I'm so glad it's killed. That was one of my annoying pet peeves.
He needed, though, because... Dab Tanks was the first Gotenks to be released in the game, and it took him this long to finally Dokkan the poor guy.
And yeah, it's such a long road to get that Dokkan too, and especially when it's like it feels like this should have just been done in the first one.
Yeah, it feels so weird to me. So it's almost a year. I remember the day that Dab Tanks came out. I was working a different job, and I went to the store specifically to buy Play Store cords to roll for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking back, like, oh wow, I spent almost $200 for this unit, and this unit's so worthless now.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's the way these units go. So just to give a quick rundown, we got physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. We got the Dokkan for the original Dab Tanks. Now is a Super Saiyan Gotenks. Which is a weird move because the STR Gotenks Dokkan, but he's a normal Gotenks, which I think is done literally because there's already a Super Saiyan Gotenks on that team, so who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest one of them all, fucking adult Gotenks Dokkan.
Yes, that was so out of left field. I thought that was a new card at first, but it was like, oh wait, that's just the Dokkan of the adult Gotenks from before.
Yeah, and he's, according to Nurse in the official list, at least top 5 hottest characters in the game. At least.
I have no opinion on that, so I'll just go with it.
Yeah, me neither.
That's the current
Me neither.
list. Me and Hope are making a list, and right now it looks like him and Beerus, and we don't know the other 3.
You know, speaking of Beerus, instead of Gotenks, maybe it's time to actually give the God of Destruction an actual useful card.
Yeah, so this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks kinda not needed, because tech is still pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is just what Gogeta was to the other Gogeta. He's just a direct upgrade. But, you know, since you could still use the other Gotenks in, you know, tech teams, it doesn't, like, outright replace him like it did the Strength Gogeta.
Yeah.
But this Gotenks is still strong.
Yeah, he is. He is a...
Physical Gotenks is...
Mm-hmm.
Physical Gotenks is basically all the flaws of the tech fixed. Because you have... You won't feel bad about hitting 12 key anymore. You won't get as much damage as 11 key, but the difference is minimal at best.
And you know what's funny is they actually had to change that because before he was going to lose 7% HP on 12 key, and they're like, "Oh, that's too much strategy involved. We'll go ahead and make it so he gets an attack bonus instead."
So.
Oh man, the night
Yeah.
The night that he was revealed, and like in the mod chat, we were just all freaking out, and we just like all talking about how bad of a unit, like his initial unit was.
Well, I was talking about how awesome it was that physical Raleigh is now optimal, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah. That's right, you did talk about Raleigh being optimal, but yeah, we were just like, he had so many things going against him. His 12 key hurt him, which means you can't rotate him with Vegito Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Vegito Blue had to be put on the back burner in the third turn, and Vegito Blue is one of your hardest, like, goddamn hitters.
Yeah, it's true.
Because he gives 5 key to Gotenks right off the bat. He starts out with 6 key, then he gets 3 key from Over in a Flash, and he gets 2 key from Fuse Fighter. So you can run VB with him on the main rotation, unless you want to suffer like less damage per turn.
And also back then, the old version of Super Saiyan 3. We should also mention that the old version. So he got buffed. The old version of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks used to do 7% damage to himself with his 12 key, and that's the reason why you didn't want Vegito Blue near him. Is because basically you would constantly, let's say you gave him double attack, which you had to because physical has double attack, and you double attacked with the 12 key, you would do fucking 14% damage to yourself.
Damage. I know, it's ridiculous.
Like,
you know what the funny thing too is?
Yeah.
If you look at Gotenks' second ult, it's Boo Boo Volleyball, just like Tech is, but they're like, we can't rehash that completely, so they added in like a little bit of extra animation just to show that it's not completely the same thing.
Yeah.
What they really did was they took Undokkan Tech Gotenks missile barrage and just added to the end and pasted him in from the explosion, and there you go. That's the new super.
Yeah, him and LR Broly are maybe the biggest. Like, hey, really, you guys could not have done a different unit? It feels weird. This doesn't feel right.
Even better is his event is the first time they've done this. It's so weird. Like, so Gogeta and Janemba just added an additional stage. So to get medals, it's the exact same medals you used before. This Gotenks actually uses brand new medals. And so he has a new 40 and 50 stage. So the current Gotenks goes like the old 3, then 2, then 3, then back to 40 and 50. Like, his whole stage doesn't make any sense, and his entire fight is a rehash of the guild fight. So yeah, a lot of what's happening really doesn't make any sense.
No, it's completely weird. And also that fight itself still has the exact same, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It has the same weakness.
Gimmick?
Yeah, Super Boo and
okay.
Piccolo. And also LR Piccolo, which my LR Piccolo's fully dupe system, one-shots the final form in his physical form.
Wait, really?
Yes, yeah. I have to make a video of this because it's fucking ridiculous. He literally one-shots the physical gotenks. And this is, and I've been using fucking Janemba teams, and it turns out all I needed was a friend LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and a Kid Gohan lead, and apparently that's enough to kill this boss. I was stunned. I was like, okay, I'm ready for a hard fight. He crits, and then he dead. And I was like, shit.
You know, at least it kind of gives LR Piccolo some use, so I gotta give him
Yeah, you know
he has one use in the game now.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's real fucking fun to see LR Piccolo do some damage. He does, like, Broly level damage. It's something to behold. And so now with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I also should mention, because it should be mentioned, Physical Arale is 100% optimal. When she does her essay...
That's really cool that the rail is actually very optimal. I was going to make a mention of that to you, but obviously you've tried her already.
Yeah, so just to give an example, I used because I never pulled him, I used a cooler and a Undokon Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and my Arale, when she activated her second SA, did over 1 million damage. Like,
damn.
It's kind of absurd. Apparently, on her second SA, she gets a 60% increase. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
She does like insane damage. The only problem with her on the team is that if this is another case of I really wish Vegito Blue had shocking speed instead of over in a flash, because for one thing it would help. I think physical just be better, because you never want over in a flash activated with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Just in general, if you want to do like any of the other keys. And also it would mean that Arale would be able to get more ki, because her only link on, I think, optimal physical are with units that are never on the same turn. So you have Pan, who has Woman Warrior, and then you have I guess just Teen the support Gohan, who has Resurrection. And those are her only 2 key links on the team. And,
you know, you mentioned something about Arale I was curious about. Does Physical Arale have different ults? Maybe I misheard you or something like that. I didn't know that.
Okay, so yeah, not a lot of people know this, but she has something as mechanics similar to Buhan, where except for it doesn't have to be SA10, where she has a 30% chance to do her original super is the Nicha cannon, and her second super is the 100% Nicha cannon. So she does
You know when it happens super. Because it emulates it emulates one of the attacks, but it emulates a beam heading out into outer space. Yeah, and it's like really cool.
That's the main difference, but it's an absolute...
Is there an actual animation difference in this?
There's an animation.
Yeah.
I'll look this up. I'm actually curious now.
Yeah, the original Nicha cannon only hits them like normal, and then the 100% launches them into space.
It's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing is that I finally realized why Arale is doomed to forever be on that Arale banner, because if she was a unit that you could just get, they fucked up and made her too good. Like her on, like, imagine her. My Arale has only 1 dupe path open. If I had all 4 open, she would literally destroy my game. It is ridiculous, and the reason why not a lot of people use her is because there's like it's almost kind of impossible to get her now.
Yeah, and also you had to roll in a very specific band to get her. And also in Japan, Physical Arale didn't even get her Dokkan until... Because remember, it came out with the Dokkan of the agility and the strength.
Yeah.
We didn't realize it was going to have a Dokkan until later.
I was the only one who was like, I'm pretty sure they said that there's going to be a Dokkan festival, and everyone was like, you're dumb, there's only the story event. And then it happened, and I was like, what up, motherfuckers? What is good? What's good? Arale, that's what's good.
Wookie's been secretly building the ultimate team from the start.
You don't challenge Wookie on his Arale instincts. You just don't.
I just knew. And then eventually Tech got her Dokkan too. But yeah, Physical has been... is a very, very good unit that, similar to how Heroes now has like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Adult, who is also, I think, a very good unit, but now he's kind of stuck in the Heroes banner. And Heroes banner, it's not like Dokkan, because there are exclusive units like the supports and the Dokkan festivals, but they're just not the same. Because the Heroes rarely ever shows up, Fusion never shows up, and Aurelia like comes only during celebrations, and that's only to take away your stones.
Karoli and that Gotenks were actually one of the top tier units you could have for tech teams, and then Karoli got the Dokkan, which made him better than that Gotenks. Now that Gotenks has that Dokkan for the adult, it probably made him better than Karoli again.
Yeah.
Oh, he totally is. Because here's the thing about the Gotenks that everyone pretty much does not like mention. He gets a 6-turn raise up attack.
Yeah.
6 turns means you basically don't lose like the raise turn effect. If it was 3 turns, you would lose it if they were in the 3rd slot, because by the time they get back, it's gonna be like out already. But with 6 turns, you don't lose it, so you can just keep stacking as the game goes on. And then with the new patch that the game did like a while ago, it stays throughout the match. So he's real good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're very good units, but now I'm wondering, because Heroes is coming back, that thing has to be 30 stones, right? There's no way that thing's guaranteed SSR.
Yeah.
Probably. They'd have to do something to discount it, though, because there's no way they would just throw the Heroes banner there and be like, hey, throw 50 stones at this for a chance at adult Gotenks.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's going to be like Aurelia, where it's 30 stones 3 times. And that's
By the way, when the Heroes banner comes back.
Go ahead.
Do we want to talk a bit about what the Heroes banner can offer for if you pull on it?
No, we know the units in it. It's There's nothing really much to mention other than that adult Gotenks and Super Pecan with the dopest robe in the game.
No, Super Pecan is real good. People have been sleeping on him.
Well, that's because of his passive, because the single unit, so in Dokkan Fest, he's really nice.
But that's
Shocking
kind of... Omega. I like Super Pecan a lot. I actually am really happy that I have him. And now, as I slowly start to succumb to hunger, this is the last thing that happened in Japan that I think it bears mentioning. Hercule and Roshi are now just permanent. And like we needed that for so long. I'm so happy that's finally a thing. Yeah, because now I hope that this means that they can now move on to something else, and they can do another, like an updated version of Roshi that is better than the Roshi we have. Because I like Roshi, but I feel like the stuff it offers along the way, if you get bad RNG, you basically
you have to pray for the 5 platinum shells and you're fucked.
Yeah, so I think now for whatever the next celebration is, we gotta go beyond. We gotta go super full powered Roshi or something. Like who's above? Like fight Kami or something. I don't know. Fight adult Dende. Punch that dude in his adult Piccolo looking face.
Well, I mean, they could just have it be just like an updated version of Roshi, like in the sense that we're now in the super version. So it's like, buff Roshi or a different version of Roshi you fight.
Yeah, and Hercule, Hercule I think is kind of fine. We do need more. We do need something that kind of gives us more Hercule statues, but I'm sure they'll figure out something as we. When
it comes to money, like the only thing that really, I guess. This is sort of like, a very personal thing because it differs on people, but like the ones who really need the money the most is if you pull LR Broly, because you need 92 million. Beyond that, I think most people are okay money-wise.
I mean, I'm pretty positive that eventually I'll reach the end of my money because I'm never going to pull LR Broly, and I look forward to the day when I have maximum money. And I just never...
I look forward to that too.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, I hope that them being permanent means that there's something else coming on the horizon, because... when something comes up, the cool thing about Hercule and Roshi was that they were kind of rare, and then when they started being everyday things, when they disappeared, it became an annoyance. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, because then you go back to like the old things and training items. Z swords are never enough, so anything less than a Z sword's trash. So you pray for platinum shells, and that seems to be the current right now. And it comes so little, it's like this needs to be every day.
And well, what if?
How
do you continue?
I was just gonna say, if you want to talk about Agile Super Saiyan Gotenks, go ahead real fast.
Okay, so there's actually one use for them, and if by this point in the game and you haven't given up on your account, and you don't have LR Goku or Gogeta or a 3-key lead, and you have Gotenks, he does that role because he gives 3 key to all, attack and defense 30% up. It's still really bad leader skill, but it's something.
I mean, 30% to attack. Does he give it to HP, attack, and defense?
No, just attack and defense, so no HP.
Because I was about to say, I've been able to beat Aurelia with that exact same later skill, like a good amount of stuff. Like,
oh, if it had HP to it, he would totally be good because
yeah,
he would
be a
have
very...
Aurelia. He would have Aurelia's later.
Yeah,
he'd be a rainbow lead.
Yeah, he'd be like a baby rainbow lead, similar to how Aurelia is now. Now that Big Papa Mass Saiyan is out there. But yeah, I think that's basically it. That's all the stuff that's happened in Dokkan, except for when 20 minutes after we release this, Japan says, like, here's, like, the Extreme Tech Lead. It's Lord Slug. Here you go, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You've been waiting
for
this.
man.
Give it like an hour, then we'll have all the information on LR Hercule coming. And that's actually one thing I guess we forgot to mention, but the friend summon Hercule, he's getting an LR, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we mentioned that I think a couple episodes ago. Also, another bummer is
gotcha.
Just because I think at this point we should say something about it. The physical team is really damn good.
And, it really is.
And
it used to be bad.
It used to be
bad. Yeah, overnight it became from a thing where you have to really pick and choose what units you do because Gotenks just screws up synergy. Till the next morning, they announced a buff, and now it's like probably top 3 teams in like the meta.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this was what people's expectations were from the start. Vegito Blue is an amazing unit. He is essentially an LR unit if you have a 100% do path. Yeah. You added the fact that his stats can increase by that additional amount. Of course, Super Physical is going to be a monstrous team now.
And the thing I like about Super Physical is that it's compared to like freaking Int teams and the Broly teams, is that they're actually kind of on the... You could accidentally make a good Super Physical team. Like, you could accidentally end up with all the units because like, you're like... Literally, there was a time where people just had pans raining on them from the fucking sky. Like, you don't... I don't believe that there's a person out there that doesn't have a fucking Super Saiyan physical Bardock, because let me tell you, at one point everyone had a Super Saiyan physical Bardock. Everyone has that Super Saiyan God because enough people had him to fucking increase the SA of every other Super Saiyan God out there. Like,
you're absolutely right. That is so funny.
Those units are 100% possible to make, and that's what I kind of like about Super Physical, is that there's no real Super Physical LR in the future, as far as we know. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, because if you're pulling for Super Saiyan 4 Goku to start, you probably had a crap load of pans to begin with. And yeah, the Bardock, everybody has Bardock from pulling it from who knows what. Yeah. Almost every physical unit has just been based in some sort of unit where you get a ton of them. So you're 100% right in that aspect.
Yeah, that's just the way physical ended up being. So it's nice to see that this is the one case of where they actually... I feel like they actually... Once they buffed Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, they were like, no... I think there is a way to make physical good. We just kind of have to put these in the right place. And they finally were able to do it. And I think it's the one case where you can make where you say, like, they released one unit and now super physical is real good. And that's cool.
I'm going to say something that might bite me back later.
Go ahead.
But I think for super physical right now, in the current meta, this is like their peak. They're not gonna get a subunit like LR Gohan or anything like that because so far the Seminole LRs match up with the typings of the previous free LRs. So like you have LR Broly, which matches up with Extreme STR LR Frieza. You have Super Saiyan 2 LR Gohan, which matches up with Super INT Piccolo. So that sort of thing.
You're right. Huh, that's interesting. I never saw that, but we'll see. We'll see how Super Physical goes, because, again, the hero lead that could come up could also be physical, and then everything gets fucking thrown to the side. Like, throw everything out the fucking window.
Yeah, but the only thing we have left in the game is an Extreme Tech Lead, that or, the villains coming, / heroes, so it could change the whole meta anytime now. And
by the way, the Extreme Tech Lead has to fucking Rose Black literally carry the entirety of Extreme Tech to be good. This is no joke. We looked at Extreme Tech and we're basically going, we have no idea. Unless they gave +3 key to everyone, there is no way to unite that team. because their links are so all over.
Yeah, Tech is in a weird spot right now.
Yes.
There isn't any like synergy. Like maybe I'm gonna say big, maybe, but maybe Extreme Tech could just be another Saiyan, just so that Bardock could be on it.
Maybe I still think that it's totally gonna be Lord Slug, and maybe
I
it's
hope
just
it
because
is.
it's gonna be Lord Slug, and I don't like, and then they have to do fucking like Old Slug to make it. He's the support unit for Tech, because just like Android.
I'm trying to think like Tech right now.
It's
well, like I'm thinking like the support unit that released with Tien was Imperfect Cell. We have an extreme, he's an old school Cell, so you can kind of mix those in the team. So it might be something based around like biological life forms. So like, Slug could work.
Yeah. And also, here's a trend that's gonna come with the Extreme Tech lead that I've noticed with all these stream. You're gonna get an SR. You're probably gonna get maybe 2 SRs, and they're gonna duck onto SSRs that they're gonna change orbs, and then you can feed it into it because. That's what I've noticed with like
they did that
17.
with Super 17.
Yeah. 17, Boo, Janemba.
It's actually the inverse of what they did with Buhan for a brief period. There was a brief period of time where all the villains just had farmable supers.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is the last thing we have to go through because this has to be decided today. It's finally time to crown. It's time to crown Global Penta. So, here are our options. Jax, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we've been looking for a Global Penta. We've narrowed it down to 4 people. Let me quickly find the list of people.
That's fine. You want to explain to me what's going on while you do that?
I am not going to remember all the candidates.
Okay, so here's the basic. I've remembered the 4. So we've been looking for a Global Penta. People have sent in applications. Okay. We've accepted 4 so far. Let me give you a quick rundown of them that kind of helps explain why they were Penta. We have Spicy Memes, which is a global wiki. I believe he helps out with the wiki. He had
and is a friend of mine.
And is a friend of yours. Had the shittiest luck. It was so shitty he earned the first 5 out of 5 Penta. We have we have a man named called Dennis971 who got a 4 out of 5 Penta and decided that in order to get a 5 out of 5 Penta, he would feed 9 Elder Kais to his Super Trunks. So we made him, we upped him up from a 5 out of 5 and said, hey, no one else fucking do that because that's bad.
Yeah, that's terrible. That takes some balls to do that.
Honestly, no, that'd be 5 out of 5 if he fed it to Super Vegeta.
If only. And then, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. We have Doggy Off Leash, who got a 4 out of 5 as I talked with my friend Jace. And then my friend Jace said he can only have 5 out of 5. No, he didn't have a score. But I said at the end, this guy has really bad luck. What do you feel? And he said only if he accepts Jace as his waifu may he be able to become a 5 out of 5 Penta. And then he sent me an email saying, hello, I would like to make Jace my waifu.
Wow.
So he is...
is that why you had the bride Jace or whatever in one of your arts earlier?
That's not bride Jace. That's just what my Jace drew. My friend Jace drew for his avatar because he said he wanted his own. And let's see. Did I mention 3? I think I'm missing 1. Come on, I can't...
What about the one that Zen really liked?
That's
the one Zen was really pushing for.
Brylarp. And he had maybe, like... Imagine Penta's luck, but instead of re-rolled accounts, it's on actual money spent.
Oh, that's the worst, man.
Yeah, that's real bad.
I almost want to give him the title just for that.
So that's why he was, it was Brylar. I'm gonna assume it's Brylar. But those are our 4 or 5 out of 5 Pentas. So we need to pick 1. So
what if? Go on.
I was gonna say these are the last things that we really know. Is so they were able to win custom flares, and these are the flare choices that I think will kind of help us. These will be the final deciding. Dennis decided to have a flare that was literally just Super Trunks, the Dokkan art, but underneath it said SA 10 out of 10. Brylar had just a giant golden Frieza. Donkey Off Leash had a duck face dying full power Frieza. And Spicy Memes went with a beaded Super Vegeta.
The last one was a what? A beaded Super Vegeta?
Yeah, like a Super Vegeta made out of. I think it's just a Super Saiyan Vegeta, but it was made out of beads.
Oh,
Vegeta,
okay.
Vegeta or Vegito?
Vegeta.
Ah, Vegeta.
Vegeta, yes.
Well, if we're going for a full-on Penta, I mean, he's most famous for his Super Vegetas, so...
He is real famous for the Super Vegetas. And...
He's the one... He's the one who would actually put 10 Elder Kais into the AGL Super Vegeta.
And now that we mention it, Spicy Memes does work on the wiki, similar to how Penta did work on the wiki, I think, at one point.
That's right.
That's true.
So...
It's like a protege.
Yes, I think out of all of them, and again, all these people are beautiful global pentas. I think the most global penta to size them all is Spicy Memes. Also, I like I like the idea of just saying, by the way, Spicy Meme has become a spicy meme by becoming the global penta.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he lives up to his name. He was built for this moment.
This is literally the most. This is the most spicy meme that you could become on the sub by literally becoming a meme that so few people know, other than it's Penta. So what do you?
I think I tend to agree with you on that.
What do you feel, Common?
I'm not sure what I could say that won't make me sound biased.
Okay, you know what? Just for that sake alone, let's say you're throwing your vote out. You can't vote because you're too close to the people.
Well, I was gonna say it's already 2-on-1, so technically Spicy Memes will win already.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't matter what you say. So congratulations to Spicy Meme 101. As the role of Global Penta, you will now have to do an analysis post to saying why Super Vegeta is better than Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You have to carry the work that Penta never could finish because Majin Vegeta came out and ruined everything.
And not only that, you have to make it serious. You have to post this on there, like, in 100% seriousness. You can't make it, like, allude to, like, it's a joke or anything. You have to be like, this is my 100% opinion on it. Because it's not a spicy meme until people are pissed.
Exactly. And you got to do it with a straight face, too. Just like straight text all around.
I'm gonna talk to Cornell to see if we can get, like a special little thing that says on his name that just says Global Penta now. Just to make sure people know, and then people will look at that and go, "What the hell's a global penta?" So thanks everyone. It's been a long road, and I'm glad that we were finally able to crown a winner. And this is the very last segment because this is where questions are at. But we only got one question, so this is my daily thing of like, hey, send us fucking questions, or else I'm gonna shut this shit down until we get enough questions. And the questions email is impressiveninjaskills@gmail.com. I'll leave that in. This is the only question we got, which I think is not a serious question because it ends with /s, but he asked, who's better, Mighty Mass or Mass Saiyan? Who's better?
Personally, art-wise, I like Mighty Mass better, but as a unit, Mass Saiyan obviously is the better.
Yeah. I just want to say there is something cool about the Tur version of Mass Saiyan where he's constantly holding on to his mask.
Yeah.
He even does it in his
badass.
sprite. He even does it in his sprite.
Yeah, in his sprite, he just kind of goes like, no, I think I just need my mask on right now.
If they actually release that unit with like his own idea rather than, hey guys, it's the Mass Saiyan. By the way, he's not actually a Dokkan unit. We're not going to tell you that. But here's Super Saiyan 3 Goku Angel alongside of him. He might have a better legacy to live on.
Yeah, that's true.
He's probably the best unit you can pull that isn't a Dokkan Fest exclusive.
Yeah, so you can pull him any banner at least. So yeah, that is nice about him.
Yeah, he is a very good unit, even though there's a lot of dissection about him because there is a lot of things kind of wrong with him. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad unit. It just means he's a unit with faults. So,
if he was a unit that was released and 120% leads didn't exist, this would be a whole different ballgame. Unfortunately, he was released in a time where, that no longer matters.
If he was released right after, which is fucked up because they couldn't, because that's when they released a Raleigh, and Raleigh was made the 100% Rainbow lead. I remember that's why people were pissed off because they were like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta gonna be the Rainbow lead. He's gonna be my best friend. And then Raleigh came out and they were like, no!
Holy crap, that was a great impression.
My dream is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
You turned like into a New Yorker for a second there.
I'm doing a Andre the Giant from Princess Bride impression. Don't run, Rama.
Oh man, I still see those type of posts. The type of posts that people keep making Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to be like the rainbow lead of all awesomeness, gives him 4 key and 200% all stats.
I mean, eventually Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta will come out, and he will not be able to live up to what people have expected of him, because they expect him to be like 100% counter, 100% SA counter, basically deletes the game the second you pull him because you've already won.
They don't. To be fair, they have saved him, and there is a reason they have saved him. When he releases, it will be something. May it be like a 2.5 year thing or a 3 year, but they're saving him for a reason.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be like 3rd year, and right after he comes out, it's like, all right, guys, we're closing the game down in a few days.
Yeah, that's when we know it will be the end times. So that was literally our only question. So I pulled up a random trivia generator. So let's see how this works.
Awesome.
Let me ask you guys, what legendary actress was nicknamed The Face?
I don't have a clue, dude.
I don't have enough expertise in actresses to know that.
I actually don't know the answer to this either. So let's see. Oh, son of a bitch, they didn't give me the answer. This thing is garbage.
I was going to say, like, the actress named The Face, so you can assume it's a hot actress. Well, all actresses are mostly hot, so we have a list of almost endless amount of women to pick from.
It's true. It's true. So that was a bust because they didn't give me the fucking answer. So that's it for now. This is why you should give us questions, because we need questions.
Oh, do you post your question email in the actual description, or is it just in the video itself?
Yeah, I put it in the descriptions.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll make a little post about it as well.
Also, guys, the email is actually an actual email. Don't think that it isn't.
Yeah, it's
even
not,
though
it's not a jokey joke, man. I'm 100% serious.
They're probably having trouble, like, okay, impressive ninja, like, did I spell that right? Okay, delete.
Now, are you saying that the email is extremely long and for a joke that is extremely old? Yes.
I was going to say, like, not only is it based on a joke that's, way out of date at this point, it was funny at the time, though. I'm not sure most people even remember what Impressive Ninja Skills is about anymore.
No, other than it's the name of the Murasaki's passive.
Back when Vegito himself, rebroke the meta after Gogeta, which was a time, well lost now.
As we end this, I want to say, how fucked is it that Agile still does not have a Super Sealer?
Yeah, like at this point, we don't have to pretend like, okay, we can't break it by giving them a sealer. At this point, you can give them a sealer and get away with it. Every team's broken.
I actually don't think that Agility has gotten a single good unit since the release of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta.
To be fair, though, it's kind of deserved because, Agility got spoiled to death in the meta before this. So I think that's why they're, kind of taking the back seat in them this time.
I think the ones that got most screwed in this change was literally Tech and Agility, because there's just literally nothing. And I say that
actually, wait, no.
Super Tech is actually okay. Maybe just Extreme Tech.
Yeah, but actually, AGO did get a good unit since Super Saiyan 4. Majin Vegeta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who was immediately overshadowed.
Yeah.
But that's not his fault.
But he's still a good AGO unit nonetheless. Still has the strongest damage passive in the game of 150% up when supering.
Isn't that the same as Super Saiyan 4 Goku though? Is it just that
no
does more?
No, the thing is, so what happens is with Super Saiyan 4 Goku's passive, that percentage gets added up during during the phase when your units are being stacked up and passes are being activated. Majin Vegeta is, after everything is all said and done, that's 150% on top of everything else.
Okay, I see. And with that, this has been a Modcast. This is probably the most we've ever talked about the game, but I think it's because we took a week break.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of gave us some time to kind of talk about the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe we should switch to a bi-weekly, or maybe when there's nothing happening that week, we skip that week just so we can have more to talk about.
Oh yeah, that way you don't have to try and rush a group together of 3 or 4 people. We can have another 10 Modcasts and everyone can talk over each other again.
Break the Modcast table so we can buy another one.
We'll see about that. But for right now, why don't you guys sign off, and I'll also sign off. Jax, do you know what time it is?
5:30?
It's time for a goodbye song.
Luna, Do you have time to sing a goodbye song before you go?
Always, Bear.
Hey, this was really fun.
We hope you liked it too.
Seems like we've just begun when suddenly we're through. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. 'Cause now it's time to go. But hey, I say, well, that's okay.
'Cause we'll see you very soon, I know.
Very soon, I know.